Whoa, 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 whoa. You guys gotta drop a thumbs up. Come on. I'm begging here. I'm begging here. The algorithm.
What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please follow my Instagram at RussoLifts. Just in case something happens to this YouTube channel, you can follow, message, and you can watch my daily story content on Instagram. I'll see you there.
What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back to the channel. The comeback, baby. Here's your ASMR sip. Is some vitamin water zero. There you go, piss water, and I'm in the camel toe teddy fleece. So, you saw the title, Hair Safe Sarms, not Hair Safe Sarms. So this is going to be a series video, and this is the most basic video for the shortest attention spans. I'm going to be having one of my friends come on the channel, and we're going to discuss his personal hair growth with going off of all steroids onto Sarms for a while, and what Sarms and steroids that he had hair loss with, as well as the Sarms alternatives to the popular steroids. We're going to go into detail, longer discussion, but this is more the tier list. So let's first off, right off the bat, any synthetic androgen can theoretically cause hair loss from being a foreign androgen that can increase stress, aka cortisol. So keep that in mind. Now also with Sarms, right? Some of these Sarms people are going to say they got hair loss with them. This is from my personal experience and the tons of DMs I get. Had a DM box with over 10,000 people in it. So been talking to a lot of people about, did you shed, did you not shed on it? Let's also go into the caveat that Sarms cause SHBG crash, sex hormone binding globulin crash, which means that this could lead to more DHT conversion because the SHBG would bound up some of your test naturally or exogenously. When you add the SARM in there, it causes a SHBG crash for whatever reason, meaning that there's more free tests, meaning that there's a more chance for a higher level of DHT conversion. Now that we got all that out of the way, the theory and method, you should think about how this video is taken is if you got all the DHT out of your body and replaced it with SARMs and then took some form of exogenous estrogen, completely eliminating, the conversion because SARMs don't convert to estrogen or DHT, which SARMs would not cause hair shedding, right? So that is like the kind of angle you should come at this with. Basically what I'm saying is any of these can technically cause hair loss through the different, cascading side effects resulting in experimenting with PEDs. But there are better hair safe compounds and compounds that are worse for your hair, but let's get into the SARMs in general. So the most hair safe SARMs, in my opinion, number one being S4. S4 has the vision side effects, so it fucks with your eyes. It's a older generation SARM, one of the first ones to really catch hype, and I did a full video which I will link up there that you can watch if you want more information on S4. But this is a quick tier list of hair safe compounds. So S4 is completely safe on the hair, right? We have guys, including my friend, who switch off all steroids, have no DHT conversion, go on to birth control, and they go with S4 and they get hair regrowth. So that one would be the number one. I have never once had, an increase in shedding. The way if you're shedding more or less on a compound is not by just like looking in the mirror, right? You have so many hair follicles. It's actually getting a hair catcher and putting it in your bathroom and then being OCD and counting how many hairs you lost during the shower. Obviously, if you had a Winstrol before your shower, you're going to fucking lose way more hair than if you weren't on anything. So keep that into consideration. This is how this is being observed and how you should be observing your hair loss because, hair loss is something that every man tries to avoid. That being said, the next one would be Ostrine. Now, there has been reports given to me on my Instagram at RussoLifts. I somehow got the main account back. Don't jinx it, but somehow did. But yeah, but Ostrine, I have gone reports on people having hair loss with Ostrine. That being said, I personally didn't really have any hair loss with Ostrine. I had no hair loss with S4, had no hair loss with ACP 105, had no hair loss with AC 262. Now, let's get into the not hair safe SARMs. So we're gonna start off the list with, you guessed it, RAD 140, one of the most popular SARMs in existence right now. Causes the worst shedding, horrible shedding, tons of shedding. My hair catcher, I'm just like, yeah, RAD, you really gotta weigh, is the power worth the hair shedding, especially for people prone to male pattern baldness. I'm not really prone to male pattern baldness. If I was, RAD 140 would be one of those compounds that dramatically speeds up the male pattern baldness, and I would avoid it at all costs. Now the next not hair safe SARM would be YK11, which really isn't a SARM, it's a steroid, but it gets lumped in there, so we're gonna lump it in there on this video too. But essentially, right, increases DHT. It's a DHT backbone when you look at YK11 chemical structure. So expect tons of hair loss. Expect it to behave kind of similar to Winstrol, and that it's not hair safe whatsoever. If someone says it's hair safe, they're lying. So these two right off the bat will completely avoid if you're trying to avoid hair loss or are prone to hair loss and trying to stick with more hair safe cycles for your biohacking needs. So right off the bat, I nixed RAD 140, I nixed YK11, now I'm going to nix S23. S23 probably out of all of them has the worst hair loss. So this could be due to the extreme high binding affinity causing way more DHT conversion, meaning you have to really inject testosterone with S23 in my opinion. And then the S23 is probably causing an SHBG flatline, meaning all the testosterone you inject will never get bound and will never be transported around and will convert to tons more DHT level. So these are like the most popular SARMs, right? So if you're looking for hair safe compounds, then I would go with Ostrine, S4, ACP105, AC262. If you want more power, more side effects, LGD 4033, have had hair loss with it. RAD 140, have had hair loss with it. YK11, have had hair loss with it. S23, have had hair loss with it. These are all the mainstream SARMs. Now when we go into something like LGD 3303, I've had hair loss with it. Basically, the milder compounds don't seem to present hair loss. If not, it's not, noteworthy. Whereas these insanely strong androgens might be causing cortisol spikes, which can cause hair loss, or SHBG full flatline crash, which means higher DHT levels because none of your test is being bound by SHBG. But that being said, right, at the end of the day, the takeaways is that any of these compounds can cause hair loss in the certain scenarios I listed at the front of the video. I'm not going to repeat them, but if in a perfect world you had no testosterone in your body and we're just replacing it with a SARM and replacing your estrogen with some sort of estrogen such as like birth control, then you'd have no DHT conversion. Which SARM would allow you to maintain all your muscle mass and keep your hair for an extended super long period of time? I would say S4 if you want to deal with the vision side effects, Ostrine second because they're the most popular, they've been around the longest, and there's the most, not anymore, but there is a significant amount of Ostrine data around it in my opinion, and S4 is heavily studied as, well, not heavily studied, but there's actual studies with it, right? When we look at something like LGD, which has been the most studied, right? There's not much reports of hair loss, but I can say for a fact I've had hair loss with injectable LGD 43 and oral LGD 4033, so it's not safe. And like I said, some people are more prone to hair loss than others, so keep that in mind. But I think if you're looking for a hair safe compound, then you really are looking at S4, Ostrine, ACP105, AC262. They're not as powerful as the ones that cause hair loss, but not everyone is going to try to get, juiced out of their mind, and maybe they want an extra edge with not sacrificing hair follicles because you only have so many hair follicles before. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here, drop a thumbs up, and I will see you guys